Shalom Aleichem and welcome to Online Smicha. A question that comes up in a lot of places, a lot of public buildings, halls, some places don't have towels and they have those machines that blow hot air and they dry your hands. And the question is, not coming out of the bathroom, that's not so much of a shaila. If you're washing your hands for hamaitzi, and we know that after you wash your hands for a mitzvah, you have to dry your hands. Are those machines kosher enough to do the job? In simple words. So let's look into this halacha and see what is even the reason why you have to dry your hands properly, and then we'll see how it pertains to these machines. Obviously, if the end product is that your hands should be dry, that the machine dries the hand with some time, perhaps as good as towel paper, as a towel. If there is a other point to washing your hands, to drying your hands, perhaps the machine won't do it. So let's get to the bottom of this. In Shulchan Aruch, Siman Kuf Nun Ches, when it talks about the Hilchas Netilas Yadayim, it says how you wash your hands. And then in Siv Yud Beis, it says, V'yenagveim heitev. After you wash your hands, however your custom of washing it is, you dry your hands heitev as well. Koydem sheyivta, before you get to cut the bread. How important is the drying your hands? She'oichel belin niguv yodayim. Anybody who eats bread without drying your hands, ki'ilu oichel lechem tamei. It's as if he's eating tamei dika bread, because it's a chain reaction here. You're cleaning your hands from tumah, and the water is becoming tamei from the hand. How does the water not become tamei from the hand? So there is, you have to remove the water before you can get to eat the bread. That's the simple Shulchan Aruch. You look in the Alter Rebbe Shulchan Aruch and Siman Kuf Nun Ches Siv Yud Zayin. The Alter Rebbe adds a little more detail. The Alter Rebbe says, I understand you're going to dry your hand, but v'loi dai sheyisnagnavu me'aleim. It's not enough that you let your hands dry on its own. Just, you washed your hands and let it dry. That's not good enough. The Alter Rebbe adds, Ela tzarich l'shafshifam b'mapa. You have to scrub them in a towel, in a cloth, or b'shar dvarim, or anything like that. Shahashivshuf, because rubbing the hands on a cloth, mitarim b'yoser, will do a better tahara, will clean them better. So the Alter Rebbe wants more than just it being dried. The Alter Rebbe wants it to be dried b'shivshuf, and you should do it, and only then it's mitara b'yoser. Now you have to know that there are other poskim to say that you don't have to go as far. They bring the Chazon Ish, for example, held that as long as your hands get dried, even on its own, it's fine. Now the Alter Rebbe in Shulchan Aruch clearly goes on that I expect or I need this tara b'yoser because of the water. The water is also could have become tamei from the hand. But that only happens if you didn't use a lot of water. If you used under a revius of water for washing your hand. If, however, you avolim shafach revius mayim akol yad, if you manage to wash your hands, every hand with a revius, at least of a revius water, then ein tzarich l'nagvam. Then you don't have to dry them, because there is no more mayim tmeim. There's another problem. Going with the wet hands, grabbing a piece of bread with wet hands is disgusting. It's not proper. That's not, you don't eat food with wet hands. So mishtat mius, you also have to get rid of the excess water in the hand. But that's not shif. To get rid of the concern of mius, anything could do it. For the tmeim part, for the tamei part, you would need shif. You need the rubbing on a towel. And that is only according to the Alter Rebbe when you used a small amount of water under a revius. But if you used more than a revius, then there's no more problem of tamei. It's only a problem of mius, and for mius, any way you get rid of it, it's fine. The Alter Rebbe in the Siddur, Reb Chaim Noah makes a point to stress that the Alter Rebbe in the Siddur adds, hold on, there is an opinion that holds, it's the opinion of the Ravid, that even if you wash your hands b'revius, the water could also become tamei. So it doesn't really make a difference how much water you're using. The getting rid of the water still has to be done shif shuf heitev. So let's summarize this. If you used every hand under a revius, you for sure need a towel, because only then it's mishaf shuf heitev. If you use more than a revius, so it's from the Siddur, it's mashma. From the Siddur, it's mashma that even then you have to do shif shuf heitev. You can't let it dry on its own. When I say you need a towel, it means you can't let it dry on its own. Now let's go back to our previous question. How do you look at one of those machines where you have to push a button and it blows hot air to dry your hand? This is a big machlokes in today's poskim. Some say, based on that Alter Rebbe, that we're worried about the Talmudic water, and you really don't have the benefit of making a difference of how much water you used. You shouldn't be able to use those machines. You need a shif shuf heitev, as the Alter Rebbe said. And you need a shif shuf heitev, and you got to do a niguv. You can't let it happen on its own. However, others challenge it. Others say that's not called letting it do on its own, like just keeping your hands wet, waiting a couple of minutes for it to dry up on its own. That's another form of an action. There is a shif shuf, there is a rubbing that you rub in a towel that you're doing something, and there is an act that you do that you press a button, and that action dries the water off your hands. And that's actually, I see that the Belzer Rebbe, it's quoted that he says that this is not happening automatically. You have to do something. If you have to do something, then it's no different than with a towel. It's not niguv, it's not nishnagvu me'aleihem. And Lepoil, Reb Shmuel Vosner, paskins that way in Shevet HaLevi. Lahalacha, most of the poskim say, even though from one hand there is the chumrah that the water might become tamei, but these machines are as good as rubbing it in a towel.